Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about a truly helpful and impactful concept which can help transform almost all aspects of your life. Yes, you heard that right. We're going to be talking about the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. Now, what does this concept entail? Well, it's pretty simple. You just have to count backwards from 5. That's all there is to this concept. This can help you deal with problems like resistance and also anxiety, which we'll be talking about later in this video. But before that, let me just quickly tell you how the author Mel Robbins stumbled upon this concept. So it was some years ago that she used to describe her life as a mess. She had anxiety and a lot of other problems, was under extreme debt, and on top of that she also had a drinking habit which worsened day by day. In her mind, she knew exactly what she was supposed to do to improve her situation, but she just wasn't ready to take action. One night before going to bed, she watched a TV commercial of a rocket launch after a countdown of 5 seconds, and she thought to herself that she would do the exact same thing the next morning to wake up early, something which she was grappling with and wanted to instill in her life. She thought she'd launch herself out of bed after a countdown of 5 seconds. And she did that the next morning, and to her surprise, she sprung out of bed at 1. She was taken aback by the power of something so silly. Counting backwards, it doesn't even make any sense, right? But then she tested it out with various things just to check if it really worked, and it did every single time. She used this rule to beat the resistance to run and also used it to quit her habit of drinking. Today, Mel Robbins is an eminent speaker and author, primarily known for promoting, yes, you guessed it right, the 5-second rule. This is something which has worked with so many people out there, and I tried it too. And I must say it does work, and it sure has the capability to turn your life around. As you already know, this video is gonna be about the whole concept of the 5-second rule. Let's get started. As always, the mindset is really important, which is why here are a few things you need to know regarding this concept. Firstly, you're one decision away from a better life. Think about that. Change itself is just a few decisions away. All of us in our minds know exactly what we are supposed to be doing to improve our situations. But we just aren't ready to take action because of problems like resistance or lack of courage to take action. This rule will help tackle just that. Secondly, the 5-second rule could be your guide to navigate through the daily complexities of life. You can use the 5-second rule to be biased towards action and break through mental barriers like overthinking and fear. It is kind of similar to the first point. Thirdly, the 5-second rule can also help you follow your instinct, which need not always be something which involves a great deal of risk. It could be something as mundane as the instinct to finish off your pending work. As we know, our instincts in such daily situations are mostly right. And of course, in this case as well, the 5-second rule will give you the push to follow your instincts and get work done. As we know, starting is the most difficult part. We usually get these instincts because of the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain which is actually responsible for thinking and which helps you think how you can reach your goals you set for yourself. It is kind of a link between your present self and your higher order self. And lastly, the 5-second rule will help you attain freedom because you will no longer be a victim of your brain's negativity bias, and you will be able to do what you truly think is good for you in terms of extending the frontiers of your potential. You will not be held back by lack of courage or self-doubt. Now that you know how the 5-second rule can help you, here's how you should be using the 5-second rule. The moment you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must count backwards from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you must move physically, which is really important, otherwise your brain will try to stop you. Well, that's how you use the 5-second rule. To understand how this works, let's look at the science behind it. It has been found out that when you count backwards, you are mentally shifting the gears in your mind. And that interrupts your default thinking. When you count backwards, you distract yourself from your excuses you have in your mind, and you help focus your mind in a new direction. When you physically move instead of thinking further, your physiology changes. and your prefrontal cortex gets activated. As I told you before, the prefrontal cortex is that part of your brain which helps you think and is also a kind of link between your present self and your higher order self. It is that part which you use to focus, change, or take deliberate action. When you don't take action, there's a gap between what your prefrontal cortex thinks and your improvement, and the best way to bridge that gap is the 5-second rule. In simpler terms, there's a 5-second window between your initial instinct to act and your brain stopping you. As I said in one of my previous videos, our brain also has an ancient side to it. The one which helped our ancestors sense danger in the form of predators or starving to death so many years ago. But nowadays, all it does is help bring out hesitation, fear, and negativity when we step out of our comfort zone, which certainly isn't a bad thing. Stepping out of your comfort zone is actually good for you. That's how our brains have been wired. All of these things get in our heads in a span of around 5 seconds, which is why counting backwards from 5 and going all in before things like negativity, self-doubt, and fear take over is really important. If you don't take action within these 5 seconds, it could get really difficult to convince yourself, because by that time all of that negativity has already taken over. As you continue using the 5-second rule more often, you'll notice that your fear, hesitation, and negativity levels will start to drop, because ultimately all of those are habits we need to get rid of. Everything is a habit. That was all about the science behind the 5-second rule. I guess the science must have made it easier for you to buy into this whole concept. In conclusion, the 5-second rule is something which is really effective. As I said before, it is something which I tried personally and it does work. I just need to make it a habit now. You could use this concept to get over your fears, end procrastination, form habits, and also take initiative by killing your fear, hesitation, and self-doubt. I'd recommend you try it for yourself and see the change. Remember, just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and go all in. And that's it for today, guys. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like this video, and never ever forget to press that bell icon so that you get notified every single time I post a new video here on this channel. So that's it, guys. Take care. I'll see you next week. I guess you still haven't subscribed to this channel, have you? What are you doing? Go press the subscribe button.